This is the Rapid Response Series, Did You Know? CIUS Answers, a daily response to your questions about Russia's war against Ukraine. As the world continues asking many questions about the situation in Ukraine today, the Canadian Institute of Ukrainian Studies shares the answers. Joining us on today's episode is Dr. Eudard Baidaus, the Temerty Postdoctoral Fellow at CIUS. Eudard, can you share your insights on the question, where is Transnistria and why is it important to Ukraine?
Good day, everyone. My name is Eudard Baidaus, and I will make a quick overview about Transnistria. So today is February 28, 2022, and as of today, Transnistria is a self-proclaimed polity in Eastern Europe. It's part by the Republic of Moldova, a former Soviet Union republic, and is bordering with Ukraine. So de jure and de facto, it's a breakaway region of Republic of Moldova. Central government of this country has lost control over this area since 1990. The capital of the country, the capital of this area, main city is Tiraspol. The population of this self-proclaimed republic was about 700,000 people in 1989, and today about 400,000 people. In terms of demography, about 30% Romanian-speaking Moldavians, about 30% Ukrainians, about 30% Russians, and then you have Bulgarians, Poles, and others. In 1987 to 1991, during the perestroika time, the last days of Soviet Union, Soviet Moldavia at the time was divided in pro-Soviet and anti-Soviet. And heavily Sovietized and Russified area in the eastern part of the country, known later as Transnistria or Transnistria, proclaimed its own independence from the from the Soviet Moldavia in September 1990, 1 year before Soviet Union collapsed, and almost 1 year before Moldova itself proclaimed its independence from Soviet Union. What followed next? 1991, 1992, tensions between central government and separatist region, clashes which ended with a war, the so-called, or the Transnistria War in 1992, which started actually March 2nd and ended in August of 1992. It was a war during which more than 1,000 people lost their lives, and the war ended with signing a ceasefire between Russian Federation, Republic of Moldova, and Transnistria. So it was a ceasefire, and it has to be the status of this region was to be negotiated. So we have 1992, and now currently is 2022. 30 years later, the problem still is not solved. Lots of failed negotiations, and the conflict still is considered frozen. Now, what about Moldavia, Transnistria, and Ukraine? So the Predestrovia Moldavian Republic of Transnistria has a common border with Ukraine, specifically with the region of Odessa on the Dniester River. If you look at the map, you find Ukraine, you find Moldova, you see the river. This is the river which divides, in fact, two entities. I mean, Republic of Moldova and its separatist region, and then Ukraine. That region, this self-proclaimed republic, currently has about 400,000 people, as they say. Nobody knows exactly. It's hard to say how many people still live today because of people moving out of the region. But about 300,000 people hold Russian passports, from 60,000 to 120,000 Ukrainian passports, and then you have people with Moldovan passport, Romanian passports, and so on. What else? Well, there is a former 14 Russian army or Soviet army, which today is not called that way, but still there are Russian troops there. They say to be about 2,000 soldiers or military servicemen. They are known officially by the Russian Federation and by the Transnistrian authorities as peacekeepers. So in terms of geopolitics, as of today, it is a pro-Soviet, even Soviet Union doesn't exist anymore for 30 years now, but it's a pro-Russian region oriented with the pro-Russian elites and population. And they had a number of referendums. The last one was in 2006, if I'm not mistaken, in which about more than 90% voted for independence once again and to integrate themselves with the Russian Federation. So as of today, it's still a frozen conflict. Central government of Moldova in Chisinau has no control over this region. The consultations and the negotiations still continue with interruptions. In those negotiations, Ukraine has also been involved, and the most well-known episode was the Yushchenko plan, when Ukraine offered its plan for this problem to be solved, but it didn't work for either side, and this is why the problem is still open. So when this problem will be solved, by whom and how, nobody knows. Hopefully it will be solved peacefully. Thank you.
Thank you, Eudard. We'll be back tomorrow with another question and answer about Ukraine.